We are back with another post-game rapid reactions here from Game 4 of the 2023 NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat. Denver takes 2 on the road, defeating the Miami Heat 108-95. A much more fun game this time around. Denver exerted a lot of, I would say, all-around dominance. It wasn't the usual Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray type of game. We saw Aaron Gordon really go off.
Yeah. Aaron Gordon was the third star that they needed tonight. It's not really something that you would expect considering his scoring totals in the previous games, but for him to come in, I thought he was just incredible defensively, and as a cutter, that's something that this team thrives in. It's perfect for him. Jokic, Murray run their two-man actions or pick and roll at the top of the key, and Gordon is either in the dunker spot waiting for help to come or making those baseline cuts, and it's just incredible to see how the extras stepped up for Denver tonight all across the board.
Yeah, I think Eric Spoelstra said post-game that it felt like they did a much better job controlling the 50-50 balls. The rebounds weren't as big of a disparity this time around. Miami out-rebounded Denver by 3. But the biggest difference is really just in the amount of backcuts that they found. Aaron Gordon. Michael Porter Jr. had a good stretch there where I think to start the third quarter where he got a couple backcuts, laid it up, scored. I think he finished with 11, if I'm not mistaken. 11 points. Aaron Gordon had 27.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Really great all-around game, kind of like those old Orlando days. Jamal Murray was also really great. 15 points, 12 assists. Didn't shoot the ball well, but 4th straight game, if I'm not mistaken, of 10-plus assists, which I'm sure is an NBA record, I believe, to start
I'm not
finals?
sure. To start the finals, probably, for sure.
Yeah, first 4 finals games, I think he's had 10 assists, which is remarkable. The shot wasn't going down, but he was able to control the game in other ways, especially to start that 4th quarter when Nikola Jokic picked up the 4th and 5th foul and took a seat until about, I want to say, the 3-minute mark of the 4th quarter.
The biggest key, I guess not the biggest key, but I think the biggest storyline that not a lot of people are focusing on is you're going to look at the offensive ratings, you're going to look at Jokic and what he does as a playmaker, and Murray as a playmaker, as we mentioned, but it's the Nuggets defense. The Nuggets defense is winning them this series. It's not something that you would think of as the narrative for this squad, especially under Michael Malone in the last 7 or 8 years. But hey, when it matters, they are locking in. It's 3 games in a row under 100 points for Miami. Is that right? So yeah, the Denver Nuggets in March, whenever they took a slide and they were just losing a bunch of games in a row there, it was their defense that was really haunting them. Now it's paying dividends, and they're gonna win the title at some point.
That is 2 games in a row under 100. I think Miami did score 100 when they won Game 2, but I think they were held under 100 in Game 1. Bruce Brown was last game it was Christian Brown scoring 15 points, if I'm not mistaken, off the bench on 7 of 8 shooting. Tonight it was Bruce Brown, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 8 of 11 shooting. Timely 3-pointers, timely cuts and ones, and then floaters in the lane. I think in the 4th quarter when they needed a bucket, he kind of went out there and got it. I think he had a step-back triple. I think he had a floater in the lane for an and one. So another game where the starters did their thing, and they have one really good bench contribution in Bruce Brown.
Oh, Bruce Brown was everywhere, whether it was deflections, creating transition opportunities. KCP also 3 steals, 2 blocks. They were all over the place, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. When the transition Nuggets show up and when they get fast break opportunities, they're the best team in the world. You can't stop them because their half-court offense is already so elite. You can't give them an extra 20 points just on the break. You just can't afford that.
Last thing on the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic finished with 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals and 3 blocks. 4th player since 72-73 in a finals game to record those numbers, joining LeBron James, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Durant. Bill Russell and Wilt probably did it. We'll just never know because those weren't recorded back then. Moving on to the Heat, Coach Eric Spoelstra spoke pregame and delivered kind of message to his team saying that, take this loss however you want to, sleep, don't sleep. It doesn't really matter. Just come ready for Game 5 back in Denver on Monday night. I think the biggest thing he said was, we just need one. We need one game, string together 4 good quarters, win a game, bring it back to the 305. He said if we bring it back to the 305, everything changes. One game can kind of change everything, and that's what the Heat are looking to do. I think, they've been close at times, but Denver's just been the better team, the more talented team, the stronger team, and they've shown it throughout this series.
And see, you were in Miami's pressers, I was in Denver's, and I believe Bam, from what I was reading, just kept saying it's not going to be easy. No part of it's been easy, and they literally just saw a team win 3 straight games in the last series, so it's not impossible. But I think the difference is when it comes to Miami and their opponent, Boston was just very undisciplined, and it was 3-pointers or nothing for them. This team, the
Denver
Nuggets,
knows what they want, and they get it every time.
doesn't matter. They can win a game making 5 threes like they did on Wednesday. They can win a game where they hit 14 threes like tonight. They'll back cut you to death, get to the foul line. I mean, this team is just three-dimensional with their offense, and Boston was kind of one-dimensional. So yeah.
Jimmy Butler tonight, 25.7 rebounds, 7 assists on 9 of 17 shooting. Played 45 minutes. I believe he played the entire second half, if I'm not mistaken. Bam Adebayo finished with 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. They did get some solid production from Kevin Love in that third quarter. I believe he had 9 points. Duncan Robinson had 12 points off the bench. Caleb Martin had 11, and Kyle Lowry had 13, but I believe those were all in the first half. He did not score in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. The biggest thing that stuck out to me from those numbers, though, Gabe Vincent, 2 points. Max Strus, 0 points. They combined to shoot 1 of 10.
How many shots did Max get up?
4.
Yeah.
Denver's just taken Max Strus out of the series ever since that first quarter of Game 2, and Gabe Vincent has not been Gabe Vincent that we've seen in Miami in these last 2 games. So Denver's really taken Gabe and Max out of those kind of the good looks they want to get to. Now, granted, I think Gabe missed a couple good ones. We saw Max had a good one to open the third quarter and just was really short, didn't look good. I think Miami's doing what they need to do. They just need to do it at a higher level.
Yeah.
And the 3-point shots need to go down.
Yeah, and I think this is a series that's kind of showcasing to me that if they had a younger Kyle Lowry, they'd be in good shape, and they'd be in better shape than they are now. They'd probably be tied, or they might be up. But with Kyle, like, you can only ask him to do so much. I mean, his pull-up threes, he had 1 in transition in the first half tonight, and it looked like, okay, if they get that Kyle Lowry, they're in business. But he's 36 or 37, whatever he is. Like, he doesn't have it, and Miami is just too reliant on Jimmy and Bam. And the others, if they're not hitting shots, you're cooked. You're going home early.
Jimmy said at postgame, he was asked if he needs to start, being more aggressive. When his teammates like Gabe Vincent are 0 of 4 from 3, Max Strus is 0 of 3 from 3. Kyle Lowry was only 1 of 4, had that transition 3 in the first half and didn't make another one after that. And Jimmy said no, he's going to continue to play the all-around game that he does, draw the attention and kick out to his guys and trust his guys to make shots. Because those guys making shots is what got them here to the NBA Finals. They don't get here without Max Strus getting hot, Gabe Vincent getting hot.
Caleb Martin was the
Duncan
hero.
Robinson, the Eastern Conference Finals MVP runner-up, 1 vote behind Jimmy Butler. So they don't get here without those guys, and I think Jimmy is going to stick it out with those guys and just try to get them involved, not really, put it on himself to score and make things happen. So, it's definitely, Game 5 is not an unwinnable game for Miami. They already won in Denver once. The 3-point shots have not been going down at a high rate the last couple of games. Wouldn't be surprising to see them make them in Game 5, and then them kind of, forcing Game 6. I'm not banking on it, but it is something that's not out of the realm of the possibility.
Well, if they want to get back here on Biscayne Boulevard for Game 6, Jimmy has to take like 30 shots, and that's not in his DNA. But I think he's going to have to be really aggressive, and he might not get to the 30 attempts because he gets to the foul line a lot, but I mean, that guy has to have like 40 scoring opportunities in Game 5, because going up to Denver, you can't expect the shooters to just randomly get hot. Maybe they will, but I think Jimmy has to just be LeBron for 1 game. He has to.
Closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts are this series is exactly what I expected in terms of Denver being the better team, the powerhouse. It didn't flow how I thought it would.
Right.
I thought Denver go up 2-0 and then still 1 here and then go back and win it. But hey, man, road teams or championship teams win on the road. To get 2 like this, you have to really, really give credit to Denver. I don't think you can't really like crap on Miami for this. Like this is all about Denver. No one should really like take anything away from what Miami has done in this run.
Right. I think it's definitely just a credit to Michael Malone and what they've done with the Nuggets over there. Just a complete team effort. Look, I think there's a very good chance this series ends in Denver on Monday night. Deep inside, I kind of want a Game 6 just to be able to come back to Miami. Yeah. I do think Game 5 could be one of those games that, because Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray have never really had that kind of game where this is it. This is the championship game. There's no more extra games here.
You could see turnovers.
You could see guys pressing and getting a little nervous there. So I could totally see them losing that game. with the Miami Heat having nothing to lose, and Michael Malone coming out and saying, hey, this is what it's about. We got to come out and get one, and then winning here in Game 6 in
Maybe
Miami.
a couple, table punches.
Yeah, so maybe one of those hot timeouts. But all in all, I mean, look, Denver's in position to close the series out, and I think they will very soon, whether it's 5-6. I don't think it'll go to 6, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it go to 6. So, yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. That is post-game rapid reactions here from Miami, and we'll probably talk to you guys in Denver.
We will.
Safe travels.